Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about the girls up in New Jersey. All right, so yes, we are reviewing this season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I feel like I have to say this. I know some of y'all get tired. I have not watched every episode, every season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I really just started tuning in a few seasons ago. I've seen episodes here and there in the past. I don't know the I don't know the real truth about Melissa, Joe, and Teresa's, damaged relationship. No, I'm not going back to watch season one. I'm gonna have to just do with the information that I, see on the show and what y'all tell me in the comments. All right, so let's get started. Episode 3 starts off with Teresa and Melissa. Teresa basically kind of threw out there to Teresa. I feel like a part of me feels like Teresa did it just because the cameras were there. But Melissa is not going to be in Teresa's wedding. So Teresa kind of threw it out there like, "You want to be in my wedding?" And Melissa was like, "No," like basically kind of like, "Girl, the way you asked me." Let me say this. At this point, I don't want to hear nothing else for the rest of this season about Melissa not being in Teresa's wedding. Yes, we can pick apart and critique the way that Teresa extended the invitation to be in her wedding, but at the end of the day, she still gave you an invitation. You turned it down. That's the end of it. Okay? Which kind of brings me, I'm getting ahead of the episode, but it kind of brings me to Joe. When Joe and Louis got into it at the end of the episode, Joe, you're still bringing up, she didn't even ask my wife to be in her wedding or her sister to be in her wedding. Girl, she didn't at first, she did, she turned her down, so why are we still talking about it? It's over. All right. Frank. Frank is going to have to get used to some boundaries. Frank is used to just coming and going as he pleases. So Frank goes over to Dolores' home. Her boyfriend is there. Frank knocks on the door and then he just walks in. Dolores basically tells him, "You're going to have to start knocking." I said this in my last review. The relationship that Dolores and Frank have is not, in my honest opinion, is not like a normal relationship. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's great that if you get a divorce, you can still move about with your ex and still keep that family unit together. But I don't think everybody can get on board with what Dolores and Frank have, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and Cherie had from, Cherie is on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's not, I don't think a lot of people, it would take people, I think, a minute to kind of digest the new situation that they may be a part of. So I do think that they're going to have to give the new boyfriend, like, I'm getting on board. This is a little strange. Like, you got Frank living with David. You got David. Wasn't David washing Frank balls at one point when Frank was in the hospital? Like, so it's like a lot going on. I also think that with the new guy, I can't remember Dolores' new boyfriend's name. I feel like he take jabs. And I feel like he's trying to let it be known that he's the new man of the house, basically. And I don't know how that's going to go over. I don't. I do feel Frank said that in his confessional, like, he's not a threat. I will say this. Now, I don't know what happened a few years ago. I just started watching a few years ago, full seasons. I have never seen Frank be out of line with Dolores as far as like me even thinking that there's still some type of romantic feelings there. Like, I think really Frank and Dolores are done. Like, they're just like, we are, that's my ex-husband. We just have a great relationship. I would say I don't think that the new guy has anything to worry about. Just Frank is just going to have to realize that things are going to change. Like, you're going to have to knock on the door when you come over. You just can't pop up. I'm not going to always be accessible to you. So, yeah, you can't call my phone at 11 o'clock at night no more. So we can just kiki and talk on the phone. There's going to have to be some boundaries set. And he's going to have to get used to it. I did not understand what was going on with, and I rewound that part like 3 or 4 times. What was that tussle, that little tussle that they was about to have? Because the boyfriend, has a little accent. Something happened where I think when I was trying to put the pieces together based on the conversation that was had at the end of the episode, I guess the boyfriend was expecting Frank to call him. I don't know. I couldn't understand what, Frank kind of mumbles a little bit when he talks, and then when the new guy has that heavy Irish accent, it's a lot going on. So I was a little confused. So y'all can tell me, what was the boyfriend talking about when he said you never send a man to do a woman's job? Because at the end, I think Frank mentioned something about like a tech, like he was expecting. Was he expecting Frank to reach out to him to explain to him the new situation? I don't know. I was confused. All right, Jackie. I think Jackie looks absolutely amazing. Jackie looks amazing. Jackie looks amazing. It is so weird how gaining a little bit of weight, she really does. It's weird. She looks younger. It's crazy. When Margaret said that, she was like, you look more youthful. I was like, she really does. Shout out to Jackie. Jackie, you look amazing. Girl, I don't even think Jackie even watched. Somebody tell Jackie that we said she look amazing, okay? Jackie does admit to looking Danielle up and down. She basically thinks Danielle is tacky. Now, y'all know Jackie is a friend this season. I have a few thoughts about what happened. A part of me does feel like they probably demoted Jackie because they wanted to make sure that Jackie was okay. Because Jackie did throw out there last year that, like, basically, in a way, these were not her exact words, but she said something along the lines of, like, being in this group can be stressful and it could trigger her. Something like that, remember? And I can see Bravo looking at that like, oh, baby, you're going to have to try to get it together because we can't have none of that going on over here. But then also, like, based on the stuff that I was seeing coming out, like, remember when Frank let it be known, like, way at the beginning that Jackie was getting demoted? And then Jackie came out and was like, Frank don't know what he's talking about. And I also feel like, I don't know. A part of me feels like, and then Jackie came out and said that it was a mutual decision. I don't know. You never know what to believe, girl. You never know. Because a part of me does feel like these housewives, girl, everybody, let me say something. Not everybody, but the people who watch reality TV, girl, a lot of these women want to be a housewife. And it's hard for me to believe that y'all are just giving up that spot. I don't know, child. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But she basically thinks Danielle is a tacky mess and can't dress. The new girl, I can't remember the girl with the black hair. I cannot remember her name. I can't remember her name. We'll get it together, though. The new girl, she loves photo shoots. Basically, she feels like her daughter is the cutest girl in the world, so she always gives her daughter a photo shoot. She had a miscarriage at one point. She wants another baby. Even though they just had a baby that's 2 months old, she wants to go ahead and just get it over and done with. Her husband is kind of skeptical, like, basically, girl, we just had a baby. Like, can we wait a year? But she just wants to pop him out and just get it done. Okay. Teresa. Teresa, the kids, and Louie. I think the girl is Gabriella. Is that her name? Girl, I barely see her. I think I've seen that girl on my TV screen twice. In the 3, 4 seasons I have watched, I think I've seen that girl on my TV screen probably 3 times. So she's really not active on the show. She's like the opposite of Gia. Okay. I do believe the kids. I do believe Gia, and I do believe the girl. I can't remember. Is her name Gabriella? I can't remember her name, girl. I mean, she barely come on TV. I'm gonna call her Gabriella for now. So Gabriella and Gia basically said that Melissa and Joe were telling lies, that they were not there for them, like they tried to make it seem as though they were on the podcast. The only time they really popped up is when the cameras were there. Outside of filming, they had nothing to do with them. I believe them. I do believe them. I believe them. So Teresa, Melissa, and Joe. I remember last year, somebody said on YouTube, Twitter, that Melissa and Joe don't like each other. Like the 3 of them, Melissa and Teresa don't like each other. Teresa can't stand Melissa, but because they come from that Italian family where it's like family is first, always, don't never forget about the family, that they keep saying, I'm serious about family, it's about the family, but in actuality, they just don't like each other. But they're trying to keep the family alive. And whenever somebody said that, I read it and saw somewhere, I was like, girl, that's what it is. They don't like each other. They just don't like each other. But because they're trying to keep, what their mother and father taught them about the family sticking together and staying together, they're trying to just make sure that they please their parents because they don't want to upset their parents if their parents are looking down on them. But at the end of the day, they don't fool with each other like that. So when I hear all of them complain, I just kind of take it for what it is. Joe, Joe, you do too much. Let me go. Joe, you do too much. Joe, you do too much. We're going to get into Joe in a little bit. Danielle, Melissa. What did I write? I put, girl, I don't know, they all a mess. That's what I've come up with Teresa, Joe, and Melissa. They all a mess. Danielle and Melissa, she said she made the right call with you. Oh, so Melissa tells Danielle that, basically Jackie felt some type of way about her not being invited, and that she was basically judging her. And so, Jackie feels, not Jackie, what's her name? Danielle basically, based off what, Melissa told her, feels as though she made the right call, which in actuality, girl, she kind of did. Okay, Danielle, girl. Sister girl, is something going on with Danielle and her family? So Danielle said during the pandemic, people were bored, trying to make money. She started doing these videos online. Her brother basically was talking about her, making fun of her. So she blocked her brother online. So basically, since you think I look like a fool, since you want to make fun of me, you won't have to worry about that, right? I'm not going to give you access to see me so you can talk about me. Cool. So she blocked him on Instagram, I believe that's what it was. Then she says that somewhere along the line, the brother basically disinvited her, the entire family, to the wedding. When Melissa said, And that's why I was like, there's something going on. Danielle not telling the full story, or maybe she's just telling her truth. I need to hear what the brother what the brother got to say too. But when Melissa says something along the lines of, "So you blocked him because of because he was joking about you being on Instagram," and that's when, if you watch the episode, that's when Danielle was like, "Well, like it's more to the story." So it's like, "Girl, what are you not telling?" And then she was like, he basically disinvited the whole family. It's something going on that's not being said. Danielle, I also feel like, I don't know, y'all love blaming it on the women. Have y'all noticed? Girl, that's the whole thing. Everybody blames it on the woman. Girl, it's Melissa's fault when it comes to Teresa and Joe's relationship, and now it's the new wife's fault when it comes to Danielle and her brother's relationship. Danielle, you kind of told on yourself a little bit. You said you felt like when your brother got with the new girl, that she was taking your place. So is there a hint of jealousy there also? So all I'm saying is, like, it's something going on with Danielle and her brother. I don't think Danielle is telling the full truth. I don't think she's lying. I just think she's leaving pieces out of the story. And see, in situations like this is when you have to hear what the other person says, and then you have to figure out, okay, you ain't telling this, and this is what I think is going on, and this is what I think is going on, and then you gotta like come to your own conclusion, basically. Jennifer and Bill. Jennifer and Bill want to teach the kids to basically just be more clean. She says she's gonna start paying them $14 an hour to basically clean up more around the house. I said, girl, that's nice, because, girl, my mama wouldn't have gave me shit. She just would have told us. She just would have told our black asses to clean up. Okay? Anyways, Jennifer asks Bill, Jennifer tells Bill that she told, I guess, the group of girls, or Margaret, that she's the most reflective person basically out of the group. And Bill was like, okay, so this is what it comes down to. I understand Jennifer. Jennifer wants someone like Louis. Like, to me, Louis is going full throttle for Teresa. Louis wants Teresa to know that I have your back. So I get it. You don't want to always, and there have been a couple of times where I felt like Bill, he did not have Jennifer's back. Like when that mess happened, remember when Teresa and Jennifer, when I think Melissa had grabbed Jennifer's arm or something like that, I can't remember. Somebody grabbed somebody's arm, and Bill was literally like standing down the street, girl, around the corner, girl, looking through some binoculars, girl. And it's like, girl, you're not gonna go over there and like try and like, you know, get your wife, calm the situation down. He was literally standing in the back. So I can understand why Jennifer gets frustrated sometimes with Bill. But I also think Bill, one, is just not a confrontational person. He probably doesn't believe in just having someone's back just because of a relationship. Like, you're my wife, but if you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, some of us have this rule where if you are my wife or you are my friend, you know, I'll have your back in public, but correct you in private. And Bill seems like he's just, if you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't give a damn what's going on. Right? He basically says we all have work to do. And you can acknowledge your part. A lot of people are guilty at different moments. Jennifer didn't like that. Again, I can understand Jennifer's frustration. She just wants her husband to have her back. In a way, she wants her husband to basically have her back in public and correct her in private. Valentina was robbed of some part, I think. Was it like a school play at the daycare? Because she ain't too old. Girl, I think it was school, because I think she's 4. So she's probably in school. Because my niece started school at 3. So she's probably in school. The grandparents came over. She basically said that, you know, her parents got divorced when she was 8. When Danielle was 8, her parents got divorced. She said it was a mess. It wasn't until she had her son that they really started kind of I guess, trying to get along because she told them. I said, I know that's right, Danielle. She told them basically, y'all not bringing that shit around my son. So you gonna have to fake it till you make it. So, you know, so shout out to her. It was sad. Like I said, there's something going on. The brother don't fool with none of them. It could possibly be them. Okay. The brother don't fool with none of y'all. Except the daddy. Except the daddy. The only person that he's in contact with is the daddy. So I don't know. Like I said, I would need to hear. Hopefully the brother makes an appearance this season and we can hear what's going on and what the brother has to say. But the father was crying. It was actually sad. The father was crying. Again, here we go. You know, the family needs to stick together. Melissa and Joe are at their beach house. Okay, we on episode 3. And correct me if I'm wrong. But I think every time we have seen a scene with Melissa and Joe, they're talking about Teresa. Now, I'm not saying that Teresa don't be talking about Melissa and Joe, because she be talking about Melissa and Joe too. But I can remember a couple of scenes Teresa done had that in Melissa and Joe didn't come up. Okay? But I feel like every time we see Melissa and Joe, girl, they're talking about Teresa. Am I wrong? Joe feels some type of way because Melissa's mother didn't get an invitation to Teresa's wedding. He felt like it was disrespectful because Melissa's mother and their father were very close at one point. I can understand it. I'm not going to lie, girl. Y'all have been around each other for some years now. So I'm like, girl, well, damn, what issue do... Because it does sound a little weird. Girl, y'all have known each other for a very long time. So I would assume that she would get an invitation to the wedding too. But girl, at the end of the day, girl, this is Teresa's wedding, okay? The guys meet up. I absolutely love the men on Real Housewives of New Jersey. I do. I know there are a group of people out there who hate the men on New Jersey, but I feel like it balances out the show. I really do. Like, yes, it's the Real Housewives of so-and-so. But then if it was just a whole bunch of women bickering and bitching the entire 60 minutes, people will be tired of that. I love that the guys are on the show and that they're active. And they have a good ass time. Like, they tried to do it with Atlanta. Remember when they tried to get Ross, Todd Burris, and what's the other nigga name? What's that nigga name? Drew's husband, Ralph, the one who always cheesing, girl. They had them get together like for a little, guys' night out at the bar. And it was just like, hey. Girl, like, I don't know, like, it's just not fun. They're not fun to watch. They're not. Anyway, so they meet up. Frank, I love when Frank orders a martini with his big ass. Because it's like Frank is this big macho guy, and he got this small little petite glass. I love it. I put Dolores be in the streets. Frank can't handle it. Frank gonna have to get used that there's a new man in Dolores' life. And this new man is not gonna be like David. This new man is, I can't remember his name, that's why I keep calling him the new man. This new man, he is setting boundaries. And he is gonna be the man in Dolores' life. Girl. Louis come hopping around the corner. Oh, and one thing I forgot about in my last review, I kind of understood what Teresa was saying with Margaret last year. I think Teresa's whole stance in episode 1 was basically, I don't care what the streets are saying about my man. I'm telling y'all to shut up and leave it alone. But y'all kept talking about it. Because y'all feel like y'all want to look out for me. I'm telling you, so basically Teresa saying, if I want to live in, what is it, ignorance is bliss, then let me. Might be stupid, but I understood what she was trying to say. Louis. So Joe asks Louis, are you having a bachelor party? Who are you inviting? Louis says, why? When I tell you, I'm not going to lie. I low-key was living for Louis not backing down from Joe. Joe, who the fuck do you think you talk? Joe is 5'3". Girl, like, Joe, who do you, and the last time I saw it looked like you got your ass whooped by Teresa's ex-husband when he slammed your ass against that wall. Maybe I had them confused because they all the same height. But Joe, who I was low-key happy that Louis was not backing down to Joe. Like, nigga, like, girl. I don't know this whole, y'all, this man, woman. Joe just wants to fuss, fight, and argue. Because in one breath, oh, that's my clothes. In one breath, Joe is telling Louis that he don't know shit and he just basically popped up on the scene, which is kind of true. He's been around for a couple of years, but he don't know the ins and outs like of no, you know what I'm saying? Because they brother and sister, you know? But then you get mad at Louis because Melissa's mama is not coming to the wedding. And the first thing that popped in my mind before Louis even said it was, how the fuck you mad at Louis? If you're saying that Louis just came into the group just the other day and he don't know nothing, then why are you putting any of this on him? This clearly sounds like Teresa don't want them at the wedding. And so Louis says that, basically, like, this is the thing, and I'm going to say this. None of these women give me weak, like, Teresa don't give me now, when she was with that man and he was calling her all types of cunts and shit on TV, but Teresa don't give me, like, Teresa hard-headed. Margaret don't give me pushover. Dolores don't give me pushover. Danielle, the new girl, don't give me pushover. Even the girl with the black hair don't give me pushover. So it's like, y'all talking a lot of shit and expecting Louis, I guess, to bring in Teresa, but Teresa got her own goddamn mind. And if Teresa say, I don't want Melissa's mama at the wedding, all Louis can say is, I think she should be there. And then if Teresa say, I don't want her there, then what the fuck he's supposed to do? Like, I feel like it's a little unfair to Louis to put any of this on Louis, honestly. Because again, like you said, Joe, you really don't know shit. You know why the mama not at the wedding? Go ask Teresa. You just want to fuss. That's all. I don't know what place she's coming from. I don't want to have a conversation with her because I know her heart. Like, at this point, maybe she know yours too. You know her heart. She knows your heart. Maybe y'all should probably just stop talking. All right, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.